Hi, I'm Josh, and I'm back for another book called Today. It's going to be a science and general nonfiction. So I am back outside at my sister's porch. This time with a bit more of a view through it. I would just scoot out a bit so y'all can appreciate what she's done since she wanted to show it off. Today, it's a bit smaller than my other nonfiction book haul. I only had a couple things that aren't actually science nonfiction. So let's start with those. And hopefully you'll find something that you like. The first one isn't exactly a book. It is a set of cassette tapes. This is the Maya Angelou poetry collection. I think it's all of them or most of them. It's like more than 100 best poems, and it's performed by herself. I have her poem collection at home, and I just wanted this. It's not on Audible or anywhere else I could find, so I found the cassette tape. I also got her, I think it was her fourth, a song, a heart, something like that, her fourth or fifth autobiography that is narrated but not on audio. It's on cassette tape, and I'll show a picture of it here. I don't have it here, but I know it's coming to my mom. I think it's just in the mail somewhere. And it's narrated by Lynn Thigpen, the same woman who did Peril the Sower. So I'm excited to listen to that when I finally get it. Okay, that's those things that I have coming. Next is still general fiction, general nonfiction, but it's a kind of a science if you think about it. The Joy of Gay Sex by Dr. Charles Silverstein and Felice Pequeno. Fully revised and expanded 3rd edition. And this book is about the joy of gay sex. I'm pretty sure it's primarily male on male sex. There were some great illustrations in here that I won't show because I'm not sure I'm allowed to on YouTube, but I am intrigued. I don't know, I guess it's sort of a 101 on gay sex. I think it'll be fun to read, kind of enjoyable. Next, we're moving on to science now. We have a health book, sort of, which is The Botany of Desire. You know, I'm too far away. I don't like the books looking that small. The Botany of Desire, A Plant's Eye View of the World by Marco Polo. It's kind of old. I think I bought this, not because I'm a fan of Marco Polo, but because I bought it on audio years ago and I want to finally listen to it. I'm a little skeptical when it comes to him because I know one of his newest books promoted Gary Tabusa's, or whatever the hell his name is, book about evil sugar or something. A book that had been completely debunked about being completely pseudoscientific. Okay, so I need to elaborate on this a bit because I wasn't quite remembering what I read correctly. So, to be clear, Gary Taubes has written several books, and several of those books have been shown to just not be consistent with evidence. His most recent book, I think, is The Case Against Sugar, in which case the link which I'm showing up here and will link below is the science-based website talks about it and how this one is more in line with evidence in the sense that it has more evidence and there at least isn't direct evidence against it like many of his other claims, which is what I was alluding to when I say they're completely debunked. I was mixing up the two areas. He's talked about so many areas. I mixed up my thoughts about it. But the point is that this book that he has, it seems to be the closest to evidence in the sense that there is evidence there. The problem is that the evidence is not complete enough and he tends to take it in a direction that isn't quite verified. But I need to be clear that the book wasn't as flatly dismissed, at least as easily as many of the other ones were. Like the thing that he's saying we shouldn't eat carbs, which has been disproven, that the calorie in minus calorie out method is wrong, which is blatantly untrue. I'll link below the links here from a science-based medicine site, which is, ran by skeptics who are trying to deliberately fight against pseudoscience and, bad science reporting. I know you probably didn't come to this haul for this, but, this is what happens when I start talking about science that's outside of my field of expertise. But moving on. Let's be clear. There's no evidence that sugar is inherently harmful. Now, there is plenty of evidence that the diet that is associated with sugar is very much harmful, but there's a fine line to walk there. As far as what is healthy, and I get the animation with what's the difference, but there is a difference to be made there. It's worth appreciating that, it's hard to eat a balanced diet when you eat a bunch of sugar, but sugar itself is not evil. The point is that I'm skeptical when it comes to his books, but that doesn't mean he's not capable of writing about some real science. It's just, it's hard to parse between that sometimes, especially in the health field. Next is To Explain the World, The Discovery of Modern Science by Steven Weinberg, who is a big guy in physics, I think, theoretical physics especially. And I remember recently watching a video with him and Brian Greene, and I was looking up stuff about string theory. He's not a fan of string theory, but I saw this in one of his books and I forgot that I ordered it, and I'm so pleasantly surprised to find that I ordered it last year. All these books were ordered last year before I started my book buying ban in 2021. Next we have Knocking on Heaven's Door by Lisa Randall. and this is how physics and scientific thinking illuminate the universe and the modern world. I believe that this is, actually I'm going to take this back. I'm not sure how much this is science versus skepticism and this atheistic discussion like philosophy versus science, but I'm intrigued regardless. I'm a fan of both. Next, we have another book that I feel like I heard about on a podcast just recently, thought to myself, I want to buy that, and then turns out I already did. This is how you know you bought too many books, when you forget which ones you bought. But in my defense, it's not on my shelf to look at, so I'm not familiar with it. Trick or Treat, the undeniable facts about alternative medicine, which really goes well with my Michael Pollan conversation. And this I feel like I remember a good reason. There was some like pretty obvious stuff, but I don't know. It's always worth kind of reinforcing that kind of understanding. There's a lot of pseudoscience in health, and it's hard as a non-expert to be able to parse through it. Even as a scientist, like obviously I'm not a scientist of health, and I see plenty of good scientists who aren't health scientists falling into pseudoscience, and it's an easy thing to do. Simon Singh, another book that I swear to God, I told myself I want to buy it. I don't remember buying it though, but Simon Singh, author of Format's Enigma. So why did I read that? This is The Simpsons and the Mathematical Secrets. And I think it's about the beauty of math and science. Why it says Simpsons, I'm not sure. I think it's just a reference that he makes in the book. But let's just go a bit deeper. The brainy new book of the best-selling author, must for anyone interested in mathematics, as well as for the millions of Simpsons fans worldwide. So yeah, mix of Simpsons and love of math, which I do love math. And so I'm excited to see what this has to offer. Next, we have The 4% Universe by Richard Pink. Dark matter, dark energy, and the race to discover the rest of reality. Now, a little trepidation when it comes to this book because it is fairly old, at least a decade old at this point, and I know that dark energy and dark matter is a fast evolving field. But I do think this would still work. Like, generally speaking, these kind of books often have a good introduction to the topic. And while it may not be the most up to date, I think it'll provide a solid intro to it, which is something I need. Like, I'm basically familiar with what dark energy and dark matter is, or what we think it isn't. I don't know. But there's still so much I never really had a formal introduction. I think this will be a good opportunity for that. And I think it's worth knowing. I think the 4% universe refers to the fact that either 4% of matter is dark energy or dark matter, or our matter is 4% of the universe and the rest is dark matter or dark energy. I can't remember which way it is. Next is a book I am so excited to read. I almost read it, the digital copy of it, in November, but I ended up not reading it as much as I wanted to. But this November I'm planning on reading it again, and that is Carl Sagan, A Life by Kai Davidson. And this is a autobiography of Carl Sagan's life. Someone I'm a big fan of. If you like science, especially space science, which is what I study, you probably know Carl Sagan. If you don't, he was a planetary scientist, an astronomer, a science communicator, and a big proponent of weed, just to put out there. But also, he was the head of the TV show Cosmos. He made the book Contact, which was the movie with Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey was based on. And he also died in 1996 of a bone cancer, I think it was. And I'm intrigued to learn about his life. From my glimpse of this and a little bit I've looked inside of it, I do think it's going to be a fairly honest portrayal of the good and the bad, which I've never heard a lot of bad stuff about him. And he is a personal hero of mine. It's always good to understand the good and the bad of the people you look up to and recognize the people are human. They're going to make mistakes. How bad they are? Well, I guess we'll find out. How much tea is in here? I don't know, but I'm excited. I really am. He's a huge figure in my field and someone I really look forward to. I don't know if you can hear the baby crying, my sister's baby. Oh, I got vaccinated today. I guess I should have said that in the last video. Anyways, yeah, vaccine. Next, and actually the final book. We're here already. 9 minutes. I am talking way too fast. But we have The Emperor of All Maladies, a biography of cancer by an author whose name I don't want to mess up, so I'm not going to pronounce it, but I will look it up when I finally read it. And this is, I think, pretty straightforward. It's just a book about cancer and the breadth of what we understand about cancer, which I do know that cancer is there's a reason there's not a cure for cancer, is because there are so many different kinds of cancer. But I think it will be great to look into. There's a note in here for some random person, 2012. The Emperor of All Maladies is a magnificent, profoundly humane biography, quote-unquote, of cancer. From its first documented appearances thousands of years ago to the epic battles in the 20th century to cure, control, and conquer it, to a radical new understanding of its essence. Physician, researcher, and award-winning, I don't know why I think that, award-winning science writer examines cancer with a cellular biologist's precision, a historian's perspective, and a biographer's passion. That's actually really good synopsis. I've been really excited about it. So, where were we? I was gonna hold them up, but you know, some of them just fell, so let's call it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this video valuable. I know it's a bit shorter than my other one, but there's less books to talk about. A lot of great science here that I'm excited to get to. I still have more science at home to get to as well. But for now, that is all. Let me know if you've read any of these, or if you hope to at least. And as always, have a great day and stay safe, everyone.